Hello world, this is Chris with Elevations, doing another drone video. I've had a lot of requests for an update video overlooking the Interlochen intersection. There's been a lot of progress made with this roundabout with the new hard top and the traffic direction. So as you can see here, all of the east to west traffic is still going through as normal. It is down to one lane, but we do have this nice hard top they just put in, and then you can make that left turn to go south. Obviously, getting into this Wendy's parking lot is a lot more difficult now, but they are making a lot of good progress on the roundabout. And while I was down in this area, I was actually able to speak with a member of our local sheriff's department to get a little bit more clarification as far as what we're able to do, what the issues are, why people might be getting pulled over, because I know that's been mentioned a lot of times with things that used to be able to be done and things that people are still trying to do but getting pulled over, or different things that are happening in their region. One thing that I found very interesting is the officer actually mentioned everything that TCH Gear is putting out has been accurate. So if they are putting out information on their social media or on our group pages, that's information that has been proven to be quite accurate. One aspect that the officer did mention people are getting pulled over for is avoiding these traffic control stations. So they're cutting through right here where the gas station is, specifically to avoid that stop sign when they are planning to turn left and go south. So that's been a big issue, and as I understand, people are not even stopping when they're going through there. But you have these parking lots, obviously, that we're not supposed to be cutting through. There is a lot of progress being made, but it's something that we just need to kind of be patient and work around. Obviously, as you can see, once you make it past that intersection and you're continuously heading to the west, traffic does open up more and you can continue on wherever you need to go. You can turn right there and go through that subdivision, but be careful. Again, the speed limit is 25. People do live there. There's lots of pets and children in that subdivision, so be careful as you're going through there. Something else to note here, the east entry here for Wendy's is closed. You cannot make it to that point unless you're walking, if you're traveling from the north going southbound to this new roundabout. As you can see here on the roundabout area itself, they're bringing in a lot of dirt. They are spreading that around and building this roundabout up and getting it ready. He did mention the next plan adjustment for this, as far as traffic deviation, is what you can see, that east to westbound traffic right now. That new hard top is going to be shifted to the north side of the road once they finish that. So they're able to then traverse the traffic over on the north side to get around the roundabout on the north, and then they can start working on the south side of that. You can see, obviously, from that overhand view, you do have a lot of backup from that stop sign area, and it is a little bit difficult, but if you're going through that area, I think you're used to it by now. Again, to note, this southbound traffic on north-south Long Lake Road, that is entirely closed off to go to that intersection. As we pan up to the north here, you can see where the traffic control is. That actually stops all traffic going to the south. As you see that black vehicle right there trying to get around, he's going to turn around and go back. There is that intersection that allows you to get into the subdivision. Now, again, when we're cutting through that subdivision, it is a public road. But the officer did mention he's not going to be pulling people over for going through there. There's going to be semi-trucks, there's other passenger vehicles. The important aspect is just to remember that people do live here, even though it is a public main road. People do live there. The speed limit is 25, and that's actually where he was posted up as I drove through the area, and that's where I stopped and just talked to him and see what the rules are, see what we're supposed to be doing, what we're not supposed to be doing. So if you continue around that subdivision, you can go all the way around the outside perimeter, make that left-hand turn as it curves around, and then head back further to the south so you can actually get back to that main road. From that main road, you cannot turn left. You cannot go eastbound there. You can make it across the road for the marina, or turn right and head further to the west. But there's a lot of different traffic control aspects in here. If you're on that subdivision, you want to make it to Wendy's, the only way to get around there is to go all the way around the detour and then come back in from the south heading north and make your left or westbound turn. Now from here we can talk about how to get over to Oakey's Tavern. That's been another point of concern or unclear, there is this 2-track, as you can see, that goes to the south or from the south of the fuel station there, heading to the east. That 2-track is an option in order to get to Maddie's. As I understand, the owners of Tom's there actually own all of that property, but that section right there is an easement with DTE. But that 2-track can be used to go from that main hardball all the way to the east to be able to get yourself over to Maddie's or Oakey's as it is now, and then you can come back on the main road or go back on the 2-track to get back to where you need to go. I understand that there have been people having issues getting into Tom's from that direction, but the officer did say that is entirely open right now because the owner of that property, being the owner of Tom's, has not said that that's not allowed. So that's what's been put out so far. So again, this 2-track that traverses from east to west to be able to get it over to Oakey's is allowed to use. The biggest aspect is cutting through the gas station and trying to get around these different traffic control points. That's the biggest aspect that they've been having issues with thus far. So as long as you're not trying to jump off the road or cut through the fuel station or anything like that, you should be fine. Now, a lot of people have said they have had some issues going from the north to the south on the 2-track to be able to get to Tom's. If that's something you've had experience with, certainly comment on that below so we can hear what your experience was and what the results were. Did you get pulled over or was it fine? When I stopped and actually spoke to the officer directly, he said that route is legal to use right now. It's there, it's part of the easement, and nobody from either DTE or Tom's has said they don't want people cutting through there. So this is just a nice overview of the roundabout so you can kind of see how that's shaping. We saw earlier in the video where some of this dirt on the left-hand side or the east side of this roundabout was dropped off, and they're using that grader to push that out. You can see from this view really well that roundabout really starting to take shape, and we can see exactly what we're going to have as soon as this is done. I'm sure the owners of Wendy's is not entirely happy about this construction since the access to that particular restaurant is quite limited, as well as everybody in that shopping area getting to that is quite difficult. But you can see there is one entry point further to the west of this intersection. So if you are either coming from the south from that detour or from the east along that primary route and you are heading to the west, there is this one entry point that you can use to be able to get into all these different restaurants and the stores that are here, or right here into Wendy's if that's something that you're looking to do. When you pull out of there, your only option is to turn right and head directly west. You cannot turn left and go east. You cannot go back south. You have to take that entire detour to get out of there. So I do know that it's definitely causing a lot of people issues as far as if they're trying to utilize those businesses or just avoiding that area entirely, because it is quite problematic getting through here as you need to. So there's a handful of different shots that I have coming up. I'll just let this play for a while so you can see how this is laid out. You can see right here is the one right turn that you can get in and out of this if you do need to go that Dollar General, any of the other stores that are there, or be able to make it over to Wendy's. Now, one of the last things that I want to mention is some of these little cut-throughs that have developed simply because people see the route, like this 2-track right here going through their lawn. We want to avoid doing that. Obviously, they have just recently thrown some rocks over there to keep people from cutting through there, but all these businesses are definitely dealing with all this construction, so if we can do what we can to not make it worse on them by driving through their lawn and causing all kinds of problems, irrigation systems, everything else that's in that area. So to utilize the hard ball and everything else that is there as it is. And again, as you're cutting through these subdivisions, just remember it's 25 miles an hour. There are people that live there, they're not used to traffic as we're seeing going through there now. There's pets, there's children, so that 5-year-old kid that's used to having basically no traffic on his road, he might be running out in the road, so keep an eye open as you're cutting through there. Again, it is 25 miles an hour. That's the main aspect the officer mentioned, is people are just flying through there, so that's why he's posting up there quite often now, just to make sure everybody stays safe and we're not going to have to deal with any issues with an impact in that region, either with a child, a regular adult, or a animal. If you have any experience in this area, certainly comment below. Looking forward to getting some more videos put together for everybody. Like and subscribe below.